Hi, it's Mark Coopersmith with my UC Berkeley Haas colleague Judy Hopelain, and this is the final video in our mini-series on the 4 Ps of marketing. Judy, it has been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me.
It's been fun for me too, Mark. I really appreciate you asking.
And hopefully, for all of you watching, there has been a ton of information, which is what we have tried to do throughout this, not just to provide frameworks, but to anchor them back to how marketing works. And the example that Judy provided using the Apple 7, the current watch that Apple is selling, as a case study that really cuts across all of the different 4 classic Ps. Now, Judy, when you started out talking about the marketing funnel or the customer funnel, how a customer moves through from becoming aware of the product for the first time to purchasing it, and the way that companies, that marketers try and orchestrate this, try and manage the funnel. Could you share that?
Yep, here we go.
Perfect. So when we think about the funnel, and again, you'll see, and this is to all of you viewing, you'll see a classic marketing funnel like we have here. Sometimes I call it the customer life cycle with a number of different elements as we move across, but we're all trying to do the same thing in this funnel, and that is to move the customer from never having heard of us or our product to buying the product, and then eventually to being happy and satisfied and loyal and continuing to buy it and telling their friends. When we can turn our customers into our advocates, and Apple is brilliant at doing this, then as marketers, as product developers, as business executives, that's the holy grail. That's what we want to do. So, Judy, if you wouldn't mind, would you just share kind of for you, your perspective on how the 4 Ps operate across this funnel?
Sure. So the 4 Ps, when we talk about them as tactics for moving people down the funnel, what do we mean? Well, in the last video talked about promotion and getting the word out. And getting the word out is primarily aimed at building awareness, right? Getting the word out and promotions are the top of the funnel. And once you've heard about the product or the brand, or you've seen something about it, you might want to know more about it. And the things you next will want to know more about are the features. What does it do for me? And how much does it cost? And those are part of consideration and trial. And ultimately, in order to try it, you got to find out the place. Where do I get it? How can I get it? So the 4 Ps really generally are most involved in what we call sort of the upper or the top of the funnel: awareness, consideration, trial. Other aspects of marketing and of the organization come into play, in fact, operations too, as you move down the funnel. But at the very top of the funnel, the first thing is really promotions and building that awareness of what is this brand, what is it offering, how does it fit with people's lives? Am I like those people I'm seeing in these commercials? Do I have the same problems those people have, or the same needs those people have? So it's very much initially top of the funnel orientation for the 4 Ps. And again, as you move down, you want to know more, and each P gives you a little bit more.
Right. And it's interesting the way you define that, because especially if it's a product I don't know anything about, promotion is hugely important, because you need to make me aware that this product even exists. And then you need to share with me the features, but in particular, which Apple did particularly well in this case, the benefits. Right? It has these health capabilities with the Apple Watch. What's the benefit? It can save my life. It can tell my loved ones when I fall down, or in that last example, when I'm a bike rider and I go over the rails, kind of thing. So there are elements around that. And it's getting me to the point where I buy it for the first time, which is where place and price come in and are so important as well. Do you have an offer in front of me that compels me to buy that Apple Watch today, not next week or next month? And is it online, or is it in a mall, beautifully displayed in an Apple store with maybe a bundle that says this week only you get these extra watch faces or watch bands or something like that? That, since we know Apple doesn't discount price, enhances the value proposition. One thing that you were talking about, Judy, that for me is interesting, and then right back to you, is how do we then drive the bottom of the funnel? kind of loyalty and advocacy. And I think that comes back in particular to product. And product and price is the value proposition there. When I bought it the first time, and we've all done this, did the product deliver as well as I had hoped it would, as I saw in the ads? And if it does, or it delivers better, then I feel I have gotten great value from that product. And that's where the product and price evolution and formula is so important to get me to become that loyal, satisfied customer and advocate. Judy?
I think that's a big part of it, but I also think that the rest of the organization, the operational side of things, and if I need service, if I need help, if I don't know how to do something, if it's not working the way I thought it should, Apple and the Genius Bar, right? The genius of the Genius Bar is all down at that bottom of the funnel.
Right.
Truly, I mean, yes, it may help out higher up, but it is the thing that really makes you feel like the product does what you thought it would do or what you need it to do, and that you are the master of the product. It is not the master of you. So having products in stock, right? Having the merchandise in stock, which is a store operations thing, having the resources and the support in order to ensure that your product experience is a positive one and that you are getting the most out of that product is also, again, outside the scope of marketing, but it's definitely part of that customer experience that drives loyalty. I think advocacy also, though, is related to making it easy for people to share their experience. And so that is partly technology and it's partly marketing as well. So I like to think about marketing as doesn't do this by itself. It can't succeed alone, right? You need operations, you need the service and support, and you need the technology platform in order to enable marketing and these fantastic products to actually be successful in the marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, when you introduced product, you incorporated, when you defined it, you said it includes service. It includes those operational elements that support the product. So that's bringing us full circle. A couple final thoughts, one by me, and then we'll leave it with you. As we were watching the video, I was trying to think about what Apple does particularly well. I mean, how do we think about how these 4 Ps come together in the case study that you framed for us? And my takeaway is that Apple just makes it look easy. Apple makes it look so seamless. You know, Apple is known for a great brand and great marketing and beautiful design. And you think about it, how they bring product and the service that comes with it. Price, yes, you pay a premium price, but you feel you're getting great value. How they bring forward the value proposition, why this is such a great deal, even though it might be more expensive than some competing products. Place and the use of the Apple stores as well as online, and then how they promote it. So they bring that all together so seamlessly, so brilliantly, that it just enhances my perception of the company and also of the products that they bring and the value that they deliver to my life.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it when we talked about packaging specifically, you know, the elegance of that packaging. It's the elegance of that whole experience, right? That design choice from a product and a packaging and a marketing and a whole experiential standpoint. It's the through line for Apple, right? That intuitive, simple, elegant. And I think it really does deliver across, you know, the whole Apple 7 product experience. For me, the Apple Watch and now Apple Watch 7 is a really interesting way that Apple has created an affordable point of entry for consumers into the world of Apple. So it's got an enormous ecosystem that all works together seamlessly and can be daunting, right? It can be, if you start with the Mac or you start with, you know, the phone or the iPad, well, the phone, those are expensive items and those are considered purchases. The watch is a much more affordable point of entry into the world of Apple, and it works all by itself. It's a standalone product. It's even better when it's paired to your phone because you can find your watch, and it has tracking ability and all kinds of interesting things you can do, but it's a standalone product that can serve as a way to introduce someone to Apple, and then they can grow into the Apple ecosystem over time. So I think of that as, genius marketing again, in a way of luxury brands do this. They create the affordable version of the Hermes scarf. So you have an Hermes product long before you can afford any of the much more expensive Hermes items. So too with Apple. Although they are not as luxury maybe as Hermes, you could get the Hermes version of the Apple Watch 7, but they're not an Hermes product in a classic luxury sense, but they too are expensive enough. They are creating a lifestyle, a whole ecosystem in a world that can surround you with products and services. And the way in for many, many people is that Apple Watch, and now the Apple Watch 7.
So as a takeaway, that's fascinating that this could be the key that unlocks the Apple world for many people who haven't been a part of that Apple world before.
I think that's, I think so.
Judy, really enjoyed this series. For all of you watching, hopefully you're all a bit smarter when it comes to the 4 Ps, and I know we probably mentioned another 8 or 10 Ps on top of that as well. In other series around marketing and entrepreneurship and innovation, we'll talk about things like growth hacking. We'll talk about the go-to-market strategies and plans that we put in place with the different types of media and more. So stay tuned, find some of those other videos, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks. Bye for now.
Thanks, Mark.